Howdy y'all, Dr. Groovy, Scott Grove, GroovyMusicLessons.com, home of the 200 plus hours of lessons. Download them, $25. Craziest deal in the world, always has been, always will be for as long as I'm alive. As you see in the title, I'm going to go through the Johnson J station and show you how it is set up for a singles gig if you're doing backing tracks and blah 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 and using a lot of different instruments. Okay, so I'm gonna let you hear all that junk if you care to. If you kind of get it after the first 3 minutes, hey, shut it off like I would. Okay, so we're gonna go into the music room, and the stuff that you're going to see that's in there that is different slightly has been there since day one. I just didn't want to freak anybody out, so if you have epilepsy, you might turn the other way. Yeah, there's my wagon wheels from Darius Rutker. He gave me those. Anyway, so in here, it's my Groovy mic stand, and you'll see things blinking and twinkling, and you'll even see, isn't that cool? So that's my mic stand when I do this whole thing. And lit up, and he'll actually be behind Tumbleweed, as will my snake. That's okay, so it'll look really groovy with the UV lights and stuff, and turn on the woof light. Ain't he pretty? Love my woof. And of course, my snake will be lit up. He'll be in some tumbleweed as well. And of course, everywhere there are green strobe lights. I always dig purple and green together. Anyway, so what we're going to be looking at is what's going on down here with the J-8 controller. That's the whole deal. The deal about this is that's not like any of the Johnson amplifiers and so forth, even when you use the J-8, is that with the Johnson J station, the volume pedal actually works like it should. If it is off, then when you change presets, it will be off when you go to the next setting. If you leave it in the middle, it'll be in the middle when you go to the next patch. Whereas all the other stuff, the amplifiers, when you change patches, everything goes to 10, which is not a good thing. So you're playing real light and you just want to go to a, slightly overdriven patch on even my Millennium. That's why I have to use my external volume pedal, which I wouldn't have to do if the damn thing ran correctly on my J12. Everything, again, goes to 10. Then you got to back it back off. So that's what's groovy here, is it works like it should. And automatically you have right there that button, kick it in, and your solo level will go to 10. Okay, but that's a wah-wah pedal, so it will bypass the volume and go to a wah, so you can choose and pick what you want. Each bank on here that you go to up and down, if you go to bank 1, you got only 3 things you can do. You got channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. Okay, that's all you have. If you're going up a bank, the last number matters, so it's 1. Then you hit number 1, it goes to 11, 12, 13. Again, the last number matters. Number 2. Okay, so 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. So what I'm going to show you today, again, I'm going down to the zeros right there, so it'll be 0, 1. Okay, and like I said, if you're playing a multitude of instruments, it's very handy. Down here, just to let you know what's grooving, on my TC Helicon Voice Live Play, I just change it down here for my vocals, since I'm doing everything myself, to a delay, reverb and delay, do my slapback delay for Tube Snake Boogie. It's got the flanger and all that crap going on. changed to a female. Does a good job if I'm doing Jackson from Johnny and June, blah blah blah, by Barry White. My Popeye sounds if I want to get weird. Right here. Do you believe in life after love? So you actually have the auto tune with all the stuff that you're familiar with. This here is just strictly for lighting. And blah blah blah. Okay. And for this mic stand, just like everybody has, ta-da, just one of them goofy little remotes. Okay, over here, I have it mounted on the mic stand. Everybody's saying, well, how do you do that? The clamp I use, since Johnson never made one, okay, it's this thing here, and it clamps on the mic stand, and it actually does screw in via whatever I can find here and again here, nowhere else. Okay, so this is actually from the original Line 6 pod, so you could do that. Nobody else made one, but it will fit these J stations, so you can just screw a big screw in there. If you can find a bolt to fit it, fine, but I just tossed it in there, put screws in there that were too big for it, did that, and on the bottom, you betcha, gaffer's tape. Okay, so a lot of people were asking, how does that stay up there? Well, that's how she stays up there. Okay, so I run a wireless into all this stuff and just go grab a different instrument, and a different instrument, so like at least five or six different instruments to take to a gig. But of course here in the room, I'll be using my South Creek Audio cables. Again, southcreekaudio.com. Go see them, mention my name, you get money off. Okay, gotta do that whenever I can. Okay, so as you can see, I actually put things here since I need to. And I tried a few different things. That's actually on a mailer thing, so it would actually just stick. Okay. I put everything in, made the patches sound groovy for every instrument. Okay, as you can see again, 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, 13. Yep, the boner tones there. So all of these first patches here are all for electric guitar. Clean blues. Okay, you'll see the clean is number 1, 11, 21. So it's the first patch on every bank, because I always got to go back to that clean patch. Okay, and Edie is Edie Brickell. I kind of just use that whole thing as the auto from Banjo, and then a dirty version just in case I want to use it. Okay, and of course I use some of these for the nasty distortion on the ukulele or whatever I want to do with them. But just the last little row is automatically acoustic and mandolin. There's a bright acoustic, and the acoustic I use for this is the Fender Santa Rosa, so 0 feedback, bright acoustic. And there's a classical guitar, which also sounds perfect for the uke. The Resonator on my clean one, which is this one up here, which also has a humbucker in it, which I can just go to any of my guitar patches and use. And my bass guitar patch and my banjo patch. Okay, so those are the different instruments that I use. So if any of you want to stick around, you're welcome to check it out. But that's the whole thing, is going to different amp simulators, blah blah blah. I'm not going to show you that because it's like any other pod effects processor, but it's still the one I like the most, and I have tons of these, and I'm going to put all my patches on here once I'm done. Got most of them here ready, but I'll put some other just usable patches instead of stock patches, from 43 all the way up to 83 that are just good patches, so I don't get surprised. And plus, anybody that might want these patches, I'll be able to just give them to you when I have them all put together. Okay, so you can just load them right onto your J station or buy some of mine ready to go. Okay, so that's it. If anybody wants to take off, you're more than welcome to, but that's how I'll use it for a singles act where all the music is playing and going for a certain amount of time, and between each song I can click it and pause it, but in case, you know, some free bird and I got 20 bucks in her hand and I got to reconfigure the computer, you know, 20 bucks will, well, 100 bucks will buy Freebird, 20 will buy anything else. But so that's how I run it, and things work great. And make sure you give plenty more volume to whatever needs it. Okay, it's got some great acoustic simulator stuff, blah blah blah, but very cool. You have your gate, your compressor, and all the effects you need. And why I keep it up here is in real time I can change anything. And down here, treble, mids, bass, and actually gain on channels that are clean, which are most of them. I can just give it more volume that way, and it doesn't distort more, it just gives it louder than it's always hard to find louder when you've got everything on 10. But you do everything in real time, hit the store button twice, and you're good to go. And the reason I had that all hooked up in here, again, is because basically the head is the same unit as the one I use, and these cabinets are exactly what I used. Just used 2 per side. And so that's why I can do the store on the patches I use. Okay, so I'll just toss all these instruments in and I'll let you kind of hear what's going on. Alright, check in a sec. Okay, before we get going, I wanted to mention a couple other things that are pretty much why you must and should use the J-8 foot controller. Number one, I know most of you cram little cheap tuners to your headstock. Here's another cheap tuner. You just hold that button down and you've got a tuner. It'll show up there. Does about as good as your little snark thing will. But anyway, not anything. Per patch, every patch you have, and I have them on every patch, just a matter of what I want to use. When you hit store, whichever, like on this one, I already have reverb turned on, therefore it shows, and it shows up here on the unit as well. But if I want my delay that I programmed, I click it here. If I want any of my modulations being even whammies or of course flangers, chorus, blah 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 blah, pitch things, you know, harmonizers, all that, you can turn them on and off as you please. But when you come back to the same patch, just the reverb is going to be on there just as your dedicated sound. So don't think that the sound is just what it is. Again, you have control of all of your effects. Okay, so that makes it even more awesome. Okay, very simple board to operate, so just wanted to let you know that as well. So when I go through some of the patches, I don't need no stinking patches. Just know that, yeah, all those are already set for me. When on Lukenbach, Texas, I put my phase shifter on to do my Waylon Jennings and all that stuff. So yeah, it's all there to be had. Groovy. Anyway, I have 3 guitar builds currently going. I want to just slightly divulge what one of them is going to be, because I just got the headstock decals in a couple days ago. So I get a chance to screw them up a few times. So that's what it is. The Groovy Jizzmaster, made in my garage. Okay. So the Groovy Jizzmaster. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Okay. So I already had friends going, huh? Yeah, it will be the Jizzmaster. What do you expect? Okay, let's do the thing. Okay, so I'm on patch 1, which is just clean, and again, it's just 3 sounds per bank, so you got 3 patches per bank. Okay, so again, my clean patch is on 1, 11, and 21 for all these electric guitar things. So, channel 1, effect 1, or patch 1, or all that junk. My main sound. If I actually use the P90s, which is why I like to use these references with the 3 P90s, you have so much going on. If you actually go ahead and use the P90s, here it is in position 2, so you have them here. Okay, you can really get some groovy stuff out of it. Okay, if you go to the neck position, okay, so those are your P90s. You're like, why so much reverb? For those of you who do not know, playing live in any situation, backing tracks or a band, you end up losing about 50% of your effects. But you can dial them in as you're playing with the group via the sound man can tell you, or the way I do it, I actually have a monitor that lets me know what's going on out front. Not a monitor that just lets me hear myself, it actually gives me what's going through the mains. Okay? So, that's a beautiful thing. So I can play exactly as loud as I need to, check the tones, live on the fly, blah blah blah, make all the adjustments. That's what it's all about. Okay, so that sound, now with everything rolled back on the bass contour, so that'll be my main clean sound. And again, for all of these patches, I don't need no stinking patches. I just love to say that every single time. The delay that I have programmed in for all of them, I could switch delays for each time I am on the same clean patch if I wanted to, and use a different mod, chorus, verb, or chorus, flanger, whammies and harmonizers and all that. I'll see how it goes. Anyway, the delay, come here, turn on the volume pedal. So that's what I put there, and again, I'll quit doing this for the most part. The modulation effect, and again, none of these are on except for the reverb when I go to this patch. Again, from my Waylon Jennings stuff, which I do more than anything, except for Merle maybe, but the phase shifter. That's what I'll be doing. Okay, for the second patch, so just number 2, right there, go to the bridge position, and that's my... Okay, so just my chicken picking stuff. Okay, so pretty groovy. The next one, number 3, is just plain distortion. I have my choice, my normal single coil sound. Or turn on the P90s. Put it anywhere you want. Put it in the bridge. I'm sorry, the neck. Of course, I have the delay on what I put in for a mod. Okay, so there we go, harmonizer. Okay, so that's for the, oh, what was that song? Bad Case of Loving You. Okay, so that's my distortion thing. Now when we go up to 21, so I'm sorry, 11, I'm looking at my thing here, it's clean, it's the same thing. So I go up to 12, it is going to the neck position, totally back to my single coil sounds, way too much reverb. Okay, because that's my pedal steel guitar. Okay. So, pedal steel goes there. Next, number 13, just one click away, is boner tone. Just go into the bridge. I'm sorry, the neck again. Of course, we can go P90s and crap all day long. Okay, the rest of the guitar stuff. 21, bank up, is clean again. 22 is going to be a blues thing, which we will just simply stick it on. P90s. Okay. Next one is just a different blues patch. So hardly any reverb at all. Okay? And very, very little overdrive. So more of a barely broken up sound. So, very cool sound if you get to be here with me, which you don't. Okay, going up to the last of the 3 patches for guitar are going to be number 31. It's just another rock patch. So we got rid of all the clean stuff. So I'll leave it on the P90s. Go to, we can go to the bridge, see what's here. Go there. I generally like to go to the 2 position, especially with P90s because they're not quite as hardcore as humbuckers, so whatever you choose. Yeah, none of my tap harmonics came out. Imagine that. Anyway, so that's my delay, should I want it or not. Is there anything on my modulation? What do I have on it? I hear something. Oh, sounds like about an octave below. I might dick with that one, see what's going on. number 32 says Eddie, or Edie, I'm sorry, Edie Brickell. Eddie. It's not Eddie Van Halen. I never do any of that crap because I have no idea how it's played. So this will be just a typical auto wah. Not even an auto wah. One of those things. Envelope filter, there you go. So that's what that is. The next one should be the same thing. This is my last guitar patch, which should be the same thing but with some hair on it. Put it on P90s and on the neck position. Where would I use it? I don't know, depends on what drugs I was on. Okay, so anyway, I'll hang this on the wall and we'll finish the last row, so just 6 more sounds and that'll be the end of this whole shitload of mess. Okay, guess what? Yeah, it's the acoustic. And again, for those who don't know, really sought after instrument. Got a few of these. The Fender Santa Rosa, the tobacco sunburst, not a 3-color sunburst. Tobacco, that's the color everybody looks for. Of course, there's black and red and colors such as that, but this is the groovy one. I know at NAMM, the winner of NAMM 2019, the Acoustic Sonic came out, but until I play it or hear it, this is going to be the one all the time. Why would I play this live instead of the Rain song? No feedback. Actually, the Rain song, I put the noise gate on it and it cuts down a ton, and you put the sound hole thing on there and it gets rid of most every bit of it. But this thing has 24 frets too, and I do some stuff where I'll actually go up there. I'll show you something in a second, but check this thing out. And I use the same patch on this one as I do my mandolin, because it tells me right here. And so that be that. I'll just simply bring it up, and this is on patch 91. Okay, so I actually went down. So I quit going up to stuff because I'll mainly be in my wheelhouse on the first 3 programs on here. So number 1, number 2, and number 3. Just go down 1 bank and then I'm right to my acoustic and stuff. So that's mainly the 2 things I'll be doing is, you know, electric and acoustic. Okay, so that's why I put them next to each other that way instead of doing it higher, because I had to go 4 banks of electric sounds. So like I said, I'll generally be on my first 3 patches, and then the steel guitar every now and then right back down. So that's why I did it this way. All the patches from here actually go down. So pretty cool. So the acoustic. Okay, so just adjusting my tone on my guitar. And of course you have the reverb, the other things that I like. Of course on here I do the chorus that I put on it. You gotta have that just because you might be doing more than words or something, but sounds great, huh? Okay, so now I'm going to go finger picking, and then I'll throw in the delay, and of course these same things will be available to me on the mandolin should I want them, but So something like here, give myself a little more on the top end. Okay, so it just sounds so groovy. And then the delay on some tune I wrote, which everybody writes this same song. I know they do. So the delay. Okay, yeah, I ripped one right in the middle, but that's what I'm known for. You don't play, you get out of practice. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't play. So, I'm going to unplug this thing and just simply plug in the mando. Put that on the flow. Plug in the mando. And also with the pedal down there, if you're plugging in instruments like I just did, and things like this that have preamps that are active, you don't have to worry about them popping, doing an on and off switch down there and all that junk. So, I'm going to go to same thing. Nothing except for the way it went there, the original patch. I'm going to add a little bottom end. Oh, that's volume, sorry. Get rid of some high end. So it's got great sound, I think, and everybody bitched at me for the way I put the pickup in here, which there is a video on. Let me put things back where I like it. Volume down a little bit, bass down a little bit. Anyway. So, great sound, I think. Don't know what it sounds like through the camera mic, but hey, there you go. I dig it. What's it say is coming up? Duh. It says it's a bright acoustic. Okay, so I get to just stay on without turning the camera off. So just a brighter acoustic sound. I guess I could just simply turn up the treble on the guitar. So it was here. Go up one. So maybe if you do hard doing some finger picking, you can kind of do that thing. Okay. So a real goofy thing. No compression on any of my acoustic stuff. Oddly enough, I just thought it sounded better without it. And usually I like it with it. Okay. Back to the regular acoustic. Bright acoustic. So maybe for stuff like that where you're going to be a little more dynamic with your dynamics. Okay. Okay, let's put that down and see what they got coming up next. It looks like it's going to be the classical guitar and the ukulele. Hey, imagine that. Two things with catgut strings, nylon strings. Alright, I'll get that together. Alright, so the nylon string stuff. It's an old Takamine, oh, one of their high-end jobbies. I ended up putting, well, it already had one preamp up here, which are not as groovy as the Fishman that I installed that has the controls inside the sound hole here. So that's what I went with, and just discombobulated the other one. I did fire up the, I ran it through the tuner section of the preamp, but that's it. So get rid of the guitar pick, unless I'll do the Willie thing. Okay, so again, you got to practice sometime. I don't. Why? Because I suck, and if I had any place to play, I might practice. Anyway, do I have anything as far as effects on this thing? Guess so. Any modulation effects? If you're going to do Waylon, man, I mean, Waylon, Flat Me Willie. Better grab my pick. Not have fallen, I would not have found you. Angel flying too close to the ground. Okay, and of course I'll play a few tunes on this, but a song like that I may or may not do a few tunes a night and just kill the backing tracks and just sit down and play something like that so people actually know you're playing. Okay? So groovy deal there. Again, preamp in there. Pop, unplug it, and again I play with the wireless on, so it's always in my back. Keep it in my pocket, that way it don't go away with any of my other stuff. Take out the uke and get rid of the pick because I don't use them on there either. Start spreading herpes. Okay, so there's that one. And now that we get off of here, what do we have left? we got 3 things left in the old mixing bowl here, and I'll grab those, alright? Okay, here's the weird reso thing I use. Wash burn thing. Cost a lot of flipping money. It had a lace sensor resonator or acoustic pickup here. It lasted a day and a half and it just fried out. And of course Lace refused to give me another one. Yes, brand new, covered under warranty, blah blah blah. So Jeff Lace, again, hey, thanks for all your shit. So I actually threw a Washburn bridge, I'm sorry, neck. I don't know my bridge from a neck. Asshole, no ground. I'm not doing too well today, but that's okay. A humbucker from out of one of my weird looking guitars, one of my Washburns, my PT3s that I threw single coil pickups, and I put the neck pickup right here just to give me a good humbucking blues guitar sound. And then I've got 2 other preamps in here. That one's just a straight guitar thing, and you can use the volume and tone here for that. Okay, again, that was wired up strictly to the Lace acoustic or resonator pickup, but I changed that out and put a 500K pot in here, blah blah blah, and then I put what this really needed, and which I wanted it for, was to be an acoustic resonator. It's hard to get one to sound right without just micing it for bluegrass. So another Fishman, which cost a lot, which you have to screw on the bottom of the pan inside here under the biscuit. And so I did buy a whole new biscuit under here and a whole new everything. Spider bridge, I'm sorry. Yeah, the spider bridge and the top end and the pan under there, and I had to put the nut on under the screw that goes through the pickup and everything and make it work correctly so it sounds more like an acoustic instrument without having to use microphones. So if you check here, so right now I have it plugged into that one back there. There's another one I can use with the 2 little thumb things with, which is right there, and then the one on the strap button goes to the humbucker here. So depending on where I plug it in at, well, why not use one that does all kinds of stuff? It's like I keep using my wireless, so I just plug it into whichever hole I need to, because my wireless is not a stereo or a tri thing with blah blah blah, so I just plug it in the hole I want. Okay, you know how that goes, kids? 3 holes, just like on your rubber doll. Front entrance, back entrance, and the mouth, of course. Okay, so here is my acoustic type pickup, which again is underneath this whole deal here. Okay, again, I'm going to try to play the same Garth Brooks thing, but you hear the difference of this compared to that. Okay, so it's a better sound than I can get out of anything else that I could, unless I put a microphone on it, which is tough live. So I do have my square neck resonator up there, but you know, had to go with this. Why? Because you just do. Or I just do. I didn't want to mess with trying to electrify that thing yet. But I would go with the same Fishman underneath it, and I will do it just because I can. And everybody always wants to do the slide on this. They're not slide guitars, but a lot of people like to play slide. Okay. So if I decide to just pick the thing up and use it the other way, I just unplug it there and plug it in the ass. And I use, let's use a nice number 23. I'll just go up to number 2 and hit button 3. Okay, depends on what I want to do with it. Okay, so that's the Washburn pickup. And again with the slide. Okay. And go right to my rock and roll bullshit. Okay, so pretty cool. Just anything you want to play electric guitar on, because it's an electric guitar now, the way I put it. So about as close as I can get, so I think it's kind of cool. Okay, next we'll do 2 more things, alright, and get out of here. Okay, yeah, bass guitar time. I decided to do, I've totally redone this since last time anybody seen this thing. It's my Dillian. I've never got rid of a Dillian axe yet. Got them all. Why did I change anything? Didn't need to. I just did because I could. Put silver lace sensors in it, changed everything, the pick guard. This thing, everything's black now where it wasn't before. Put a bridge with more mass on it and blah 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 blah. Just changed it all, and like I said, it didn't need it at all. And I doubt you can see it on the back here with the way they did this stuff, but yeah, there's a spread eagle chick on the back for all you kids. But yeah, I got a lot of tunes, you know, the typical Mustang Sally crap, but I'd rather play bass on it because the song's boring enough as it is. Okay, so the bass sound, just compression, and that is it. Acoustic's waking up, I hear him. That song. Some kind of, maybe Cheap Sunglasses, ZZ, I don't know, but great funk stuff. Mustang. Okay, so just that kind of thing. I did put a delay. Why? Don't know. More acoustics ringing. I'm trying to find an acoustic somewhere that's ringing. Just don't know where they're all at. Oh, they're all up on the ceiling. Anyway, get rid of that, and then of course you have to have what electro harmonics used to call baseballs, which again was just a low end. Low filter thing, so you got your dig the bass tone. If you were here, you would too. It's good and fat and everything it should be. It's the best sounding thing on here, I think. So again, you can also see everything that's happening. I'm going to do one more just for the hell of it. Okay, so stick with me and I'll let you home early from school. Okay, last one's going to be the funky banjo. Anybody out there that has a 6-string, especially these nasty Dean things, they did not electrify these to begin with. They do now, and stick a black head on the front of them to try to mask the junk that is inside. But anyway, I found a way to electrify my own, which I enjoy. I actually put 5 sensors, piezo round sensors from electronic drums on the bottom of the head, because you just peel off the back and they're sticky. You can see 3 of them right there underneath the bridge. Of course, that's nice and piercing and twangy like always, but you always need them under the bridge. And to just kind of round it out a bit, put 2 more underneath right there. Okay, so you can see my underwear. So that's where I put them. And what I do at the back, I plugged it in right there. People are like, oh no. And folks, it's a Dean. What are they? You can buy them for 39 cents, I think. So that's what I did, and it, what was it, like 27, 28 cents of these things. I've got hundreds of them to fix electronic drums if I need to. But yeah, just stuck them all in there and ran them through the jack and good to go. Just taped on the rod in there. Don't forget that rod inside there, you loosen it up, the entire neck, you can pull it up or pull it down just to make your action really easy. So all you people out there that play these Dean things, you can attest to my action here is nothing, and make sure you use acoustic strings. And also, I quit doing the typical acoustic set. I actually put, check it out. So it's still tuned like a guitar, but I put 2 higher strings here for the A and the other E. Okay, it just sounds a lot better because you're never going to have a low A and a low E on a banjo. It's just never going to be there. Okay, so just the droning string upper. So maybe think about doing that with your 6-string banjo, changing those 2 bottom ones out. Again, you're supposed to use acoustic strings. I just tore a 12-string set of acoustic elixir polywebs apart. And no matter where you go, the cool thing is, you can do all your guitar things. Anything you normally do. So I just think it sounds better. I'm not a banjo player by any means, but as you can tell. But so that's what I did. And again, I use a right angle plug, so it's not sticking out like that. It's like, why didn't I put it somewhere else? It wouldn't fit anywhere else. Again, who cares? It's a Dean. Okay. So that's the banjo tard thing that I did, in case I bring it out. And that is it. Okay, that'd be it. I hope you dug whatever I did there. And again, yeah, I'll make No, I'm not making excuses. Yeah, I suck this time of day. I suck any time of day. My fingers, I never practice, so that's what happens. If you don't want to end up like this, practice doing something with your fingers or wrists or hands or something per day. See, what I was going to talk about the LGBT plus Q thing, but ran out of time. I'm not sure what it stands for, but I'm going to go read up on it. And I'm sure it's got to be something cool that's everywhere. I just noticed a bunch of rainbow stuff, so they got to be, you know, some cool folks, I guess. I don't know what it's all about. But anyway, so that's how the flippin' J station is going to work for me with the J-8 pedal. Okay, so all kinds of things to do in case you're in this kind of situation where you want to play a whole bunch of different instruments, yet you only want to take up one channel in the mixer. Okay, if you just dick around with it long enough, I'll definitely be doing a whole lot more of it. So it does. I heard a few there that just sounded hideous, kind of like the banjo and the Resonator guitar. They need some tweaking. And anyway, for those of you who stuck around, Groovy, I do have my Ramones shirt on that my Ramones tribute band, Sedated, sent to me as well. And appreciate those guys, as always. Forgot to mention them in a long time and wear the shirt. Actually, I finally got fat enough to wear this shirt. It's like a double XL, and I can finally fit in this bitch. You know, so... I know you didn't need to see that, but there you go. I just haven't decided which Ramon I want to be today. I'll be Joey. I gotta go comb my hair. Anyway, be groovy, and I'm going to be in bed shortly after I barely put this together. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.